I went into Nosferatu knowing nothing about it, basically. All I'd seen was a poster on the wall in the cinema. Drum roll. Wasn't my kind of film, I'm afraid. Not at all. It was incredibly fucking boring. It was just dull and dreary throughout, constantly. So that's my first opinion of it. I mean, if you're into vampires and real like Shakespearean style dramatics filled with sort of, lengthy scenes of drama and misery, then you'll love it. Absolutely. This really wasn't for me. I mean, at the beginning of the film, when the vampire actually made his appearance, or half his appearance, because the way the camera sort of focuses, it zooms in on his eyes. There's you sort of see his eyes. His eyes, basically. I liked it. I was captivated. It sort of it then spiraled into classic late night BBC One dragged out drama that's like an hour and a half long. When one scene, a scene of intrigue and suspense, just quickly turns into one of those early morning in a grand bed, church bells ringing, horses clip-clopping past the window. That's just that. I mean, I know that's just the backing sort of effects, but it wasn't for me. It was just dreary shit. Now, a positive, because I'm going to see this for both angles, obviously. Oh my God, the performances were nothing short of immense, spectacular. Lily Rose Depp, she's worthy of an Oscar. If this is ever up for nomination, she's certainly worthy of it. She was fantastic. Nicholas Hoult, So the main firstly her, the Lily Rose Depp, just her vocals and her natural flair for performance was addictive. I can't lie. So although I didn't like this film, she was just honestly, her bodily gestures, her movements. Towards the end of the film, she has she has some sort of fit where I thought it was CGI at first, because she's just fucking brilliant. She's absolutely amazing. So yeah, hats off to her. She's just perfect throughout. Nicholas Hoult, I was really, really taken aback by and really surprised by, actually. I've never seen him so dramatic and so just deadly serious, macabre almost. They were brilliant. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, excellent. The backing cast as well. It was like watching a live West End stage performance of something. These people, this cast ensemble, were just splendid. I absolutely loved them. So yeah, on that scale, performance-wise, they were hats off. Applause there, fantastic. There was nothing I can fault at all about the performances from any of the actors. And the vampire himself, oh my God. I mean, if I can just note, took him fucking long enough to expose him to sunlight. He arrived. The sad thing is about this film, there's nothing no part of this story that you couldn't sum up in a 40-minute episode of EastEnders. Guy who's interested in the girl, travels from overseas, comes to stay, gets the girl, fucks the husband off, that kind of thing. And then ends in tragedy. Like EastEnders or Doctor Who. It's like there was nothing here. But the vampire, oh my God, his vocals, his voice, is like, you are mine now. You have repledged your wedding oath, yeah? You're mine now, bitch, Oh my God, he was I love the vampire. So that's the thing. Nosferatu, what's it called? How do you pronounce it? Nosferatu? There's the poster there, look. You see, that's what I first saw, that poster. So Nosferatu. It's grey, it's dank, it's dreary, it's just old-fashioned sort of BBC One possibly BBC Two late night drama. It's dull. At one point, do you know what? I had my head like in my hand, and I was like, please. I pray no one heard me, but I was like, please, out loud, because I just wanted to get out of the screen. It was that dull. Yeah, right. So my vampire, me Lily Rose Depp, me backing cast, they were just brilliant. And it's just the film itself. I just wasn't taken by it. I'm sorry, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. It's not my kind of thing. In fact, in this day and age, they've made too many films now and TV series about vampires. Do you know what I mean? Oh, hang on. Before I finish this, side note, I thought if a vampire bit someone, that person then turns into a vampire. No? I thought that was the rules of vampire. I mean, this is like a really old-fashioned sort of like, we're talking 1800s here, story. So unless this story was created before the next person who wrote a vampire story like threw into the mix about vampires, you know, noshing someone. Oh God, I was about to say noshing someone off. Noshing on some. Change of word. Biting someone. Right. So unless this fell before the next person wrote a story about a vampire biting someone, and then they threw into the mix that the person then turns into a vampire. Unless that, I was like, because I was all really intrigued, because at one point a character gets bitten, obviously, and then that character's spouse goes to see them, like he sort of goes to their grave and sort of lifts them up, sort of declares their love, and it's like, sort of crying over the corpse, which was quite emotional. But when he lifts her up, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna like go wah and sort of like chow down on him, basically. But she didn't, and that's the thing. I thought vampires were supposed to sort of pass it on. Do you know what I mean? Pass on the inheritance of bitey. This was 1990. No. Yeah, nothing happened there. So I was a bit. I was really fucking disappointed. What can I say? It's the performances that win overall here. Do you know what? I'm glad I didn't watch this, because I didn't go out last night for New Year's Eve. But if I did, and I had a hangover this morning, I would have either fallen asleep, burst into tears, or just been absolute agony, like ball-busting, arse-numbing agony to get out of Scream 2 just now. I mean, I was bored senseless, seriously, I really was. But again, it was the performers who made it, and they carried out the story they were just really captivating, and they did it in such a sort of like a just ancient sort of macabre, or real gothic, because that's the thing, this is a real black film, so it's really dark and gothic, and they played it perfectly. What can I say? That's all I can say. So yeah, it was just dragged out, sort of. Do you know what I mean? When those sorts of really like boring scenes where suddenly there's like church bells outside and someone's laying in bed while the spouse and the local quack are sort of stood just chat. It wasn't to the point of excruciating, because I've seen worse, but it was just dull and tedious at points. So that's it. Right, anyway, so, not my kind of film. I don't know why the vampire wasn't passing on his vampireness. It took him long enough to explode into sunlight. What was that about? Not my kind of thing. The positives were the actors. They were just, they were just superb. And she was, my God, the leading lady. Christ. If she, like I say, Oscar worthy, and if she's not like nominated for something, I'll be very, very surprised. If you're into gothic films, vampires, and the like, then you'll probably suck it up, I was going to say. Yeah, but even then, it's lacking in a lot of vampire-y sort of stuff, because it's more about the lead girl being sort of haunted and tormented by him. It's not like, you know, he sort of swoops in through the window. He is stood next to the window quite a lot, but he doesn't, you know, there's not the classic swooping in, biting someone, going for them, and all that sort of vampire fangy juiciness. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe I went in with the wrong expectations. Certainly now I've got absolutely no expectations, but still, what can I say? Nosferatu is a gothic but very well played bore. God, how do I even say that? It sounds really contrasting, contradictive, but yeah, this wasn't for me at all. No way. And like I say, if I had a hangover today, fucking hell, oh my God, that would have sent me off. I would have had to walk out. Anything else? Special effects, the CGI at the end, where, I might have actually just given a bit of the end away. Anyway, you'll get the gist. You'll know what I mean. Right at the end, the CGI with the vampire himself was just, that was brilliant. So there are good elements to it, but there are really dull elements to it as well. And it just I just feel like I've completely wasted New Year's Day coming down here. I think the highlight of this movie for me is going to Sainsbury's in 10 minutes time to get some sprouts, and I need to get some green beans as well. I was going to watch the Florence Pugh film, but I can't be arsed.